Okay, so I am making this video to show anybody out there who has a contour how to do their drum brakes. After getting the shoes off, which is a pain, putting them back together, unless you do it in the right order, can be even more of a pain. So the first thing you want to do when you get everything off, you have your replacement brake shoe. The first one you put on is the one with the emergency brake arm, and you make sure that this is anchored. That's pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to show that part, but this is the important part, and that's making sure that this spring and this arm are locked onto this shoe, back it up, before anything else gets put back on. And you'll note that I also had to remove the wheel cylinder in order to do this. Honestly, I couldn't think of any other way. I tried on the other side, and I had to pull it off in order to get this whole assembly to slip back in. And you'll understand why once I show you. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to take this spring with this little duty end here, and you're going to slip it into the bottom hole so that it's pointed down. Then you take this, and what you're going to do is you're going to work, follow it. You're going to work the end in so that right now it's pointed down, and you can see how it kind of sticks up out through the hole like that. So then after you've got it like that, you're going to twist this end right here up and around with it locked into the hole here like this. And you're going to feel tension on it because the spring is going to start pulling. And then when you hear it lock like that, it's there. It's done. It's in place. That's the very first thing that you have to do. Everything else after that, believe it or not, is pretty easy. So let me get us back into a position where you can show the next step, and we'll go from there. I can't push pause. Okay, so the next part is putting on the retaining clip on the retaining pin. And some of these are really easy, and you just kind of twist them up and around. These ones were really, really hard, so it just depends on the type of vehicle. Some of them don't even have this. They have a little push spring that's round that you can use a tool that looks like this on, but obviously it doesn't work on these. So I just took a screwdriver, pushed down really, really hard, and pop it up. Oh, dang. Okay, we're going to call that an epic fail.
Or you need two hands, or you need a second set of hands.
No, because I got it in there. There we go. Bingo. There it is. So yeah, just make sure that you're kind of holding the shoe in place. And sorry, filming this on my phone. So then the next step is you take your other shoe, and you'll see that it's got this. You see that it's got this notch. This is to lock into this. And what you have to do in order to do this easily is you make sure that you see. I'm getting really close. You'll see that there are these notches, and that's so that this will lock in place as the brakes expand and it self-adjusts. In order to lock this into place, you have to make sure that this is in the position that's fully extended. And the way you'll tell that is you'll see pretty much all the gears out. And then you'll just take this shoe, and there's a little hole in the top. Oh shoot, it just popped out. sometimes it still takes a little bit more effort than you'd like it to, but trust me, this is a lot easier than it was before. There we go. Come on. If in fact the thing does flip out, all you have to do is disconnect this little spring from this notch, and then you can just freely twist that back, to where it needs to go. So anyway, as I was saying, there's a little hole at the very top. It's kind of hard to show with the phone, but you're going to put this top corner right there into that hole and just rock this thing into place. And it'll take a little bit of finagling to get in there, but once you get it in there, you shouldn't have too much trouble. Bingo. Just kind of show it some love. Okay. And then next step, it's the same, just putting on the pin and the clip, and this pin slips around in the back. Like that. And then we just take that. This one's gonna be fun. That was awesome.
I'm gonna pause for a second.
Alright, pause. Okay, so that part took a few more hands than were available at the time. So as you can see, we just, same thing, got the clip on. And okay, so the next part is to put on the return springs. And in order to do that, you're going to have to take, once again, this adjuster, and then bring it back all the way in. Okay? So I'll show you that in a second. First, make sure that our shoes are seated properly, like that. And you just kind of take a screwdriver, and you'll see this little notch here, and you just kind of twist it around on the shoe, and it'll start to basically pull itself in. And what that'll do is that'll decrease the distance that you have to stretch these springs out to bring them back into their holes, so that they'll lock into place. And the closer they are, the easier of a time it's going to be. So I actually sometimes ended up having a little pop this in just to make sure. Okay, and then what you're going to do, I started with the lower spring first. And so the way this one goes on, if you don't remember, is the spring side always goes on the side of the shoe that attaches to the emergency brake. So since this is the one with the emergency brake is attached to, the spring side goes on here, and it's going to hook into this hole here. And then what you'll do is you'll take a very small Phillips head screwdriver, and this hook here has to attach into this hole here. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take the Phillips head like this in the hook, and then you're just going to stick it into the hole and just pull really hard, and then pull out the screwdriver, and bingo, if you look, it's locked into place on both sides, right where it needs to be. And you're going to do something similar for the top one. So what you start with is, if you look on the spring, there's a long side and there's kind of a hook side that faces in. This side will go in first, and this side goes on the brake shoe that faces towards the front of the car, so the one that's not attached to the emergency brake. And what you'll do, you you're going to take this, see this long slot here, you'll take this with the long little backwards hook and you just pop that in place and then just kind of twist it down, because this is going to lay flat along here. And then this took a couple of hands to get in, but what you're going to do is you're going to need, once again, your Phillips head screwdriver, your short one, and something to stretch this spring out to give you enough room. Since it takes two hands, we're going to pause for a second. Well, actually, if you hold the camera right like that, I might be able to do it. Okay, sorry. Cameraman. So, like this. Of all the springs, this one was probably the most difficult to get to go where it needed to go. Part of the problem is sometimes this spring gets a little twisted at a joint, and so you just kind of have to. And if you're putting new springs on, it might not be, but I didn't have a new hardware kit, so we're just gonna go with what we got. Okay. All right, go ahead and stop.